This is a tutorial about how to use the procedural animation Unity tool, which I made on my own. When you first import it in your project, you'll find this folder, the procedural animation folder. In it, you'll find the scenes folder. In it, you'll find the examples scene. This scene has these 4 examples. Every one of these examples shows a way to use this tool. First example we have is this worm right here. I have disabled the rest. Anyways, this worm uses the point script. The first parameter, as you can see here, is called the anchor, which is a game object that the worm follows. Then you have this list of segments. These segments are the worm's bones. And also you have the distance, which is how tall is that bone. But you don't need to fill in the distance for each and every one. You can just check this boolean right here and it will do it for you. Then you have rotation up, which is the axis that bone rotates in. If you don't know what does that mean, just try every one of these and see what works for you. Use stable up, I wouldn't really be able to explain it with this model, so I will explain it later. Fabric here isn't used for the worm because it's basically inverse kinematics, which is used for stuff like arms and shit. And then you have collisions. Collisions, when they're disabled, the worm can just get inside itself, so you need to enable it if you want to, so that doesn't happen. Then there's this gizmos. These 3 are only used for fabric, but this one can be useful sometimes for stuff like this. Second example I have here is this arm. As you can see here, I even have an animation for it. This asset can work even for animated stuff. It also uses the point script, the same script that the worm uses, but this time I have enabled do fabric and gave it a target and a pole object, which I'm gonna explain right now. The target is where the hand is gonna be positioned, and the pole object is just a game object that tells the bones which way to bend, as you can see right here. And also the anchor here is just like the shoulder, you may say. Then you have the gizmos options, which are the draw distances, draw limbs, they aren't really visible, draw pole vector, which is just draws where does it bend, as you can see here. Third one we have is the human. The human uses the human script. You can see it looks kind of wonky, but no worries about that. It just showcases my blender skills. This one revolves around this velocity value because it tells you basically how fast it is. So yeah, that's pretty fast. That's it. You can use another script that overrides this, so you can control the character. Anyways, this gets in these 2 parameters, which is the left foot and the right foot, and moves them in a circle to look like it's an walking cycle. Here I've made these feet targets to limbs. These 2 are the anchors that has a point script that makes these move. And also I have put in a game object, which is the object just to make it bend the right direction. Last but not least, we have the lizard, which is the most complicated of them all. Its body moves in the same way as the worm. It also uses this anchor in the point script. And here I can explain the staple up axis a little bit more, because this is what actually makes it not flip and go all over the place. Because if it was like something like 1 in the X, it will be flipped, as you can see here. It will be rolled on the ground, and it also will look super weird. So making it like that will make its up direction the world up direction. Now, and these legs may just be the most complicated thing of this whole thing. First, you use the robot script. Don't ask me why I called it that, which has foot places and targets. Foot places are the places that you want the legs to land on, game objects that you would make and parent them right here, under the bone that has the robot script. Then you would have targets unparented to anything, just lying there, and the two targets that you want to move to the foot places. And now here's fun stuff, the stuff you can tweak. The stepping mode, what does that mean? There's 3: timer, distance, hyper. Let's start by distance, because it's the simplest, which uses this max distance. Let me show you how it works, how it looks like. It will look something like this. Now, when you try it out, there you go. Then you have the timer for just every few seconds that you decide how much, when, will just move the targets. And then the best is the hybrid. This is one as recommended. Now, the step off. It depends if you want your legs to drag along the ground or lift above the ground and move in a circle. You have linear and circle. Let's try circular. The amplitude is how high the legs will go. Let's say 1.3. And the step Y of it is just negative if you want it to move like this, and positive if you want it to be like this. I want it negative. Probably you won't want a small value. Let's try how does that look. Let's see. Look, it moves in a circle. Beautiful. And then you have the frames to step, the amount of frames it takes for the leg to take a step. I've made it 60 rather than 30, so it's a little bit slower now. And the step speed multiplier. I need to show you this one to understand it. Let's take this graph. See how that looks like. See, it goes there and it comes back, just like what I did. Here is the foot place that you are trying to do, and this is the top. And here is the checking for placement. Additional Y is just how high this rays go. These check where is the ground, so they can put the foot places at which Y value. And the walkable mask, which is the ground. Then model changes. This, you toggle this one if you want it to be like, if this leg is a bit up, the whole thing will go up a little bit. Let me show you how it works. See, it moves. The body moved. Not much. Anyways, then the gizmos can help you to, debug stuff. Yeah, this was the lizard.